Voters are casting their ballots in Iran's presidential election 5 weeks after Ebrahim Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash. 2 candidates withdrew on Thursday, leaving Iranians with 4 contenders to choose from: a centrist, a reformist and 2 conservatives. Iran's supreme leader has called for a high voter turnout.
Election Day is a day of joy and happiness for Iranians, especially when it comes to the presidential election, which will determine the next few years of the country. Yet there is another important issue, and that is the high turnout of voters, and it is a definite need for the Islamic Republic. The existence and dignity of the country before the world is relying on the presence of people. That's why we recommend our dear people to take the issue of participation in this important political test.
Well, Zaina Hodder joins us now live from the capital, Tehran. And Zaina, you're at a polling station there. It looks pretty busy. Plenty of people casting their ballots there.
Well, yes, in this polling station, it has been busy. People coming in, casting their ballots in this snap election. Voter turnout key to the outcome, because a higher voter turnout would give a bigger chance to the reformist candidate, the sole reformist candidate on the ballot paper, to win this election. He will need approximately 55 to 60% voter turnout. Now, voter turnout also important for the establishment. We heard from the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. This was his second call in the past few days for a massive voter turnout, because in Iran, these elections are seen as referendums on the system, on the establishment, the legitimacy of the establishment, whether or not the general sentiment in the country. And his electoral base, the core supporters of the establishment, they're about 20% of the electorate. They're also out in force. And actually, we've been speaking to a few people here, and they're voting for different candidates. And there's 3 men in this race now, 3 contenders, 2 conservatives and that reformist. Now, the conservatives are at a disadvantage for one reason, and that is they failed to unite. They failed to present a consensus candidate, which means a split vote could work in favor of the reformist camp. So voters are out in force. It's still too early to say what the voter turnout will be, but they are hoping, those in power hope that it will be higher than in previous elections, because in recent years what we've seen really is a decline in voter turnout.
Zaina, what's the key issue on people's minds as they cast their ballots?
Well, it's the economy. Iranians are reeling under a strained economy, an economy in crisis. This country has been under Western sanctions for many, many years, and it's also been mismanaged. In fact, presidential hopefuls during the live debates, they dedicated 3 out of 5 live debates on the economy, and they too acknowledged that there is incompetence in governance. They promised better governance, but some people we talked to said that they've heard these promises before. Apart from the election, of course, there's the issue of civil liberties. So this election, there are many contests on many levels. First of all, you have within the conservative camp the 2 candidates, and then you have the conservative versus the reformist camp. The conservatives trying to consolidate their control over all levers of power, while the reformists are not promising to confront the system. What they've been saying is that they want to change the system from within. But there's also people who are disillusioned, and they are staying at home. They have told us, and we've spoken to some of them, that they don't believe that this election will bring change. But the post-election phase is likely to be more of continuity rather than change.
Zaina Hodder joining us there from a polling station in Iran on the day of presidential elections. Thanks very much, Zaina. Chinese President Xi Jinping